Good morning. Welcome back to week 2, or I guess welcome to week 2. And we're going to be in day 1. We're going to be in Luke chapter 6 today. Luke chapter 6, and we're going to start the week with a tough subject. We're going to start this week with Luke chapter 6. My highlight this week is in verse 27 and 28, and that's how to handle your enemies. And I want to say a little disclaimer here. When we talk about enemies, you have to understand that doesn't mean we are going out and actively seeking enemies. These are usually people that have come against us, could be for the sake of the gospel, could be for some personal reason of something that they didn't like, but we are supposed to handle our enemies in a way that is Christ-like. And so Jesus taught us how to do that. And don't you love that Jesus taught us how to handle things and how to go through things and didn't just kind of leave us in the cold? So I'm going to read from Luke 6, 27 and 28, and encourage you today to read from Luke 6, and then share with us in the comments what God spoke to your heart about today. But Luke 6, 27 and 28, but I say to you who hear, love your enemies. Love your enemies. And that would be tough enough, but he says, love your enemies, do good to those who hate you. You see how the economy of Jesus always goes another step further? Love your enemies. How do I do that? Do good. Notice there's action. Do good to those who hate you. Bless those who curse you. And pray for those who spitefully use you. It gets more complex, doesn't it, as we go along? But we see that there's power in what he's trying to get us to see. Love them. Do good to them. Bless them. And pray for them. And notice how much action there is involved in all of this. So I'm going to share with you my application for today. And that is that loving one's enemy obviously starts in the heart. It starts there. Love your enemies. It has to begin on the inside. But it also must be active. He told us to love, but then he says to do 3 things. He tells us to love, then he tells to do good, and to bless, and to pray. And these aren't just empty things that we can do in our minds. Those are active things that we have to be involved with. If love is a verb, which we often talk about, it's a state of being through action. It's all that working together. So recently, not too recently actually, it's been several months, I don't know, someone kind of came against me about something, and it was difficult. And I contacted a pastor who is older than I am and who I go to for wisdom. And I said, what do I do? And he said, you go bless them. And I said, what do you mean? So we sat down and he said, I want you to actually physically go and bless them. I want you to speak blessing over their life. And by the way, this person didn't know that I knew what they had said about me. And so I just went to them and told them how much I loved them. And it was honest. It wasn't just made up. I told them how much I loved them and told them how much I wanted to see God bless them in their lives. And I had to pray for them. And actually later on did something good. And I'm not pinning any roses, because I will tell you that's not what I wanted to do in my flesh. But I knew it was the right thing. And so Jesus tells us to bless your enemies. And I can't help but think on the cross as he said, Father, forgive them, for they don't know what they're doing. And so he lived this out even on the cross. So I hope that's helpful for you today, because I know it is me. Every time I come back to this, I'm reminded of that once again, of the need to bless and to love my enemies. So go do that today and share with us what God has spoken to you from Luke chapter 6 today. And I know we will all be blessed by that as well. Have a great day.